pinnacle of human perfection.
Now the ultimate power in the universe.
Sharing the love, spreading the light in real time. Friday night love stream.
Very happy to have a guy we instantly resonated with. Unbiased and on the fence. I'm talking about Shane C. Robinson. And his purpose is to rise above the worldviews that are designed to separate us so we can unite as one.
Sometimes you have to sort of take a step back, and I think Unbiased and on the Fence is a really, really good title for your show, because you are in the central point when you're unbiased and on the fence. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you're indecisive. It means you are taking the central point and you're seeing the multiple perspectives.
Unbiased and on the fence.
If you haven't checked Unbiased on the Fence, go and check his channel out. You might like it.
This is Dan Hofeld from Talk is Cheap, and you're listening to Unbiased and on the Fence with Shane Robinson.
If this much sincerity enters your life, come to this much. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. I don't believe anything, I don't disbelieve anything. I'm willing to look at everything. You will become a sensible human being.
Have you checked out our website?
Visit us on the web at uotf.net. You're listening to The Love Stream.
All around the world in real time.
This is Shane with Unbiased and On the Fence. You're listening to the Friday Night Love Stream.
Your calls, your stories, on air. You're listening to the Love Stream.
Sharing the love and spreading the light all around the world. This is Unbiased and On the Fence.
Unbiased and on the fence.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. How are you guys feeling? I hope everybody is doing great. If you are already on February 15th, sorry I missed you on Valentine's Day, but still sending out to love to everybody. Phone lines are indeed open. If you would like to join in, what a perfect day to spread a little love and a little light. Everybody's making hearts, sending hearts and chocolates and all that good fun stuff. So let's start this one out with a little wing makers. I do have the phone lines open, you guys. If you want to call in, the number is on the screen. And if you're anywhere in the world, you can either join from the website or see if there's an international number down in the description box below. And when you call in, you can ignore the PIN number part if you're calling from a phone and just enter the show ID, which is 147-7973. And we'll be right back.
What do?
first caller up for tonight. It is April Lunsford. Happy Valentine's Day to you. You just getting off work, April?
Yeah, I'm just getting off work. Driving home. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Well, please be careful on
And
the road.
boy,
there.
what a day. Oh, yeah, I got earbuds in, so I have both hands on the wheel.
Okay. We just want to make sure safety is priority, you know. We're live. It would
Absolutely.
give us all nightmares if something
I
happened.
suppose. I suppose. I hope the mothership lands on me and beams me up. That's what I hope.
How awesome would that be?
That would be awesome. I would not be afraid either. I'd be like, bring it on.
Beam me up,
What
Scotty.
I've been experiencing. Yeah, if that's even right anymore. I don't even know if that's the handle, is it?
Nope, that's not a thing anymore. It used to be. I remember well, actually, the bumper stickers and stuff still exist. So everything that I knew of about it exists. But people say they remember them actually saying that on the show. But I never really watched it. So if I did, I don't really remember. So the bumper stickers are still out there, but evidently you never said it. So why would they make bumper stickers if you never really said it? Is the big question to me. You know.
Right. There's so many things happening. You know, I've been doing a lot of, I guess, timeline jumping or whatever we want to title it. It's freaking me out, and it's so exciting at the same time.
I've heard some stories of some pretty bizarre stuff going on. I'm glad you were brave enough to step forward. I think other people are like, I don't really want to say anything about it until other people start sharing their experiences. So you might be the first brave soul to come forward and talk about the stuff that might sound like you're insane to the average person that doesn't believe the Mandela effect's happening and stuff. So what is your story, April? I'd love to hear it.
I'm laughing because I think I don't care if I'm crazy because I'd rather be this cool kind of loving crazy that's harmless instead of like really bad. So a lot of things. There's so much. But as far as the shifting going on, I have things come up missing, and then I'll walk away, say a prayer, and I'll find them right where I knew they would be. I mean, important things, like things that you don't misplace. Okay, so, you know, it's tax season, so it's time to be doing the taxes. And so I always put my tax forms in the same place. I had my own business. I'm very organized. I know where I put my things. And I, tore my room apart looking for them. And I knew right where they were supposed to be, my folder. It was from last year, actually. There was something in there I needed for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave the room. And then I think, why am I worrying? All I got to do is say a prayer. Because I'm like, okay, I need to be in this timeline. And I need it to be where I said it, please. You know, and I call on my team, always in the name of Jesus, because I'm a good Christian woman. Got to say in the name of Jesus. Yeah. And I do it. I go back upstairs, not even 5 minutes later, and it's exactly where, I mean, we're talking about a big, it's not little, a green folder, a bright green folder, so it's not like something you can overlook.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be right there.
That's awesome.
I've had it happen. Well, I keep having it happen so many times now, I just don't say anything anymore.
But it's a faith builder, isn't it? Once you've seen it happen a few times, it builds your faith up to make it happen more and more. That came through in a session once. It's like start with the synchronicities, build from there. And what you're talking about is what Cynthia C. Larson talks about how good can it get. And she walked around and her tire wasn't blown out after she heard it blow out, and she walked around her car, pulled over on the side of the road, looked at it, and it was the only one at the proper air pressure and stuff out all over tires. She just jumped timelines or whatever however you want to see it, but a quantum jump, if you will. And you're starting to manifest in that way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Although, I mean, yeah, it can make you think, am I losing my mind here? Because I know that I looked, I just said a thing. But then I know that I know, and from having all of us, and thank God for all of us, that we can share and understand this and be like, no, this isn't, I'm not losing my mind. I'm not being forgetful. It's actually because my vibration is awesome.
Yeah.
So this is what happens. How good can it get? So things like that are happening continuously. But one of the main reasons I wanted to call in was about the book, Eileen's book, and it's the 40 Days to Manifestation. I may not be saying the title exactly right.
Yeah, it's 40 Days and 40 Nights Manifestation Key. Awesome book. Recommend it. It's not even a big read. It's 111 pages.
I know. I ordered it right away when it first came out, so I got my copy. And I don't know if I have mine's a maroon cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's the updated one or whatever. But okay, so I loved it. Started doing it, and I didn't start doing it till about now it's probably right about 19 days ago, because I knew for me it had to be the right time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I wanted, and I wanted a new journal, so I got my new journal and all that good stuff. So I'm writing 3 categories on one page, little short paragraphs of manifesting. And it's pretty powerful. I know how to bring it into the present. And so I'm writing these out, and by I think it's the 16th or 17th day, I'm not exactly sure, but around there, all of a sudden, I don't want anything. I get this revelation that I don't want any of this, actually. It was I had this awakening that is just this isn't really my heart's desire. This is what I think I want. So it worked that way for me. Now, so I left a message to Eileen just to say, what should I do? Should I keep going? Is this a block? Do I really want this and I have a self-sabotage block? Or is it really my higher self saying, what are you doing? This isn't from your heart. This isn't what you really want. I was feeling so trapped to make the things happen that I was, that I was writing in my manifestation journal. I was trying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So you're saying
okay.
So for those who don't know about the book,
so you guys don't have to worry, and I didn't get beamed up. Darn it.
Awesome. Glad you're home safe and sound. Okay, so just for people who don't know, the 40 Days and 40 Nights Manifestation Key by Eileen Colts, if you want to look it up on Amazon, you can get it in book, paperback, or ebook. And so it's about there's some background, some history in it, but it's a book about manifesting what you want in your life, and it's a 40-day process, basically. And it's great to start. The beginning of the year is a great time to start it, by the way. So you're saying you started your list of what you wanted to manifest, and now you're about halfway through, and you're sort of second guessing what you chose to manifest, and you're thinking that's not even really what I want. Is that summing it up about right, or no?
No, it's absolutely knowing I don't want it. The point that I had, it's either I knew for such a deep fact that it's not what I wanted. It was almost like I had to cry uncle to my spirit guide, to God, and say, okay, I really don't want it because of all the circumstances that was coming around this manifestation. I mean, it was part of it was my career. I wanted to be number one and all this stuff, and then now I don't even want the job at all.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand going to work.
So is it that you saw things starting to fall into place and then you realized that's not what you really wanted, or you just kind of just wanted to go a different direction altogether?
Well, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Give me one moment. I'm going to say hi to Chris, and then I'll explain it.
Okay. Shout out to the chat.
I checked in.
Love you guys.
I had to check in with him because I just walked in the door. So,
don't forget to tell him Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, we celebrated yesterday because I had to work for the man today. So.
Oh, okay. Want to keep you in the good graces of the home there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So part of it was, okay, one, I'll just go ahead because I'm open with y'all anyways. The part that came true was career related, and I was going to purchase a new home this year. I wanted a mortgage, my own mortgage, and a homestead, sitting out in the country, 5 acres at least, so I could, we could have organic food, little farm, all that stuff. Okay, and I've wanted this, I thought all my life I've wanted this. So then with career, I wanted to be number one on my team, and I wanted our team to be number one because it's in sales and things like that. So it's kind of like, a healthy competition. And I'm writing it, and all of a sudden I feel so trapped in this career. Like, it happened just in a second was inside of me. All of a sudden I didn't like it at all anymore. Mm-hmm. I got to the point where I felt trapped, and I had to keep this job to have a good job reference in order to get a mortgage loan. And then I just started sinking into this captivity of the manifestation. Now I'm going to let you decipher that.
Well, I don't know. It's like, do you feel like it came about by doing the process of the manifestation, like writing it down? Because for those who don't know, it's a process of, you write, can you explain that a little bit? You write sort of a paragraph of,
oh, yeah.
Just so people can get a better idea.
I can explain it, and I'll even read it. Like, hold on, I'll grab my journal. Yeah, so the process is you write down for 40 days, at least one time per day, your intention of what you're calling in, but you do it in such a way that it's present tense, and also you have to be very distinct in what you want. So in other words, like in her book, there's a part where she said she wanted to learn to play the piano or wanted a piano. Well, she ended up getting a keyboard given to her.
Right.
But it wasn't a piano, it was a keyboard. So she says, really say what you want. So that was it. But I'll read this to you. At least the part that I want to keep in here, some of it's personal, so I'll keep that out. But what I'm talking about is, okay, so day one, I'm worthy of being number one, green across the board. Therefore, this is my experience for the next 90 days with and at Citibank. I am using the extra money to save for my dream business. I am signing the papers on a mortgage loan for my homestead that I share with my life partner. We enjoy the house and the land together. This sacred space is used for the kingdom of love. Worthy in the name of Jesus, so it is. And then I sign my name. And then, like day two, you can just, you're saying the same thing, but you can make it different.
Right, you actually want to make it a little bit different, so it's not just like, God is great, God is
boring.
Good every day. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, some of it is like, I am feeling so much gratitude that I am signing the papers on my mortgage loan, blah, blah, So I put gratitude in there. I am so thankful that I'm a team member. We're number one, so you get stuff. So when it started getting really bad, I think it was page 16. Because you can tell because I put the number 16 real angrily, like, number 16. Like, I gotta write that. And so I was feeling so trapped and so stressed. Yeah. Okay. And so the little gal, I got her book too, Buddha Manifestation. Oh gosh, why can't I think of her name? She came on not long ago.
Von Galt.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm so glad I guessed right. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have her book too, and I read that book, and so I'm implementing what she has to say, what Eileen's saying, what I know, what the Bible says. So I'm putting this all together, and what she had to say was where you let it go, but what is around you is what you're creating, right? So how people treat you basically, in my words, she didn't say this, but in my understanding, it's my projection of myself, of how I'm being treated, or how things change around you is what you're manifesting.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden I'm going into work, and it's like I'm walking in a different place. I all of a sudden went from being the favorite to being the one that was in the hen house being pecked to death.
Oh.
Yeah. So all of this is taking place too, and I knew that it was from my heart and my true feelings. And I knew that I was lying. I caught myself lying to myself about who I am, and lying about, I found out that I was like not walking my talk, and I was just lying about a lot of things. Stupid things about wanting this career, wanting to be number one. That's a lie. Why did I feel like I needed that? I don't even know, because I don't even know that it's not the truth. So all of a sudden, all these things in my heart wasn't in line, and you can't manifest. In my experience, I can't manifest unless my heart, soul, and mind are all in a line, and my actions are aligning with my words and my words.
Yeah.
So I'm going in there saying, I'm number one, love you number one, blah, 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 writing it all down, right? But it's not really what I wanted. So in a way, it was like this most beautiful, and it's a beautiful manifestation in the sense of what I really want. I don't even know if I'm making any sense. I know you can think of a way to break it down.
So to break it down a little bit, did you come to a realization that of what you did want through this process? Like, I mean, you just want a completely different career, or what?
Yes, I did come to that. I had a personal moment with myself, with my partner, and just that I was going to move forward with my life and speak truth in love, without, and being authentic, instead
first
of
with
being
yourself.
what people wanted. First with myself, and not worrying about what everybody wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean, for me, I practice sobriety because I choose to, because I want to be a sound mind in my life, and so for me that's a big thing too. But I want to, it seems like a lot of times if I go out and I socialize, I feel like I have to have a glass of wine just so I'll fit in.
Right.
Or, what do we call acceptance sauce? So I can be accepted, and so that's not my truth. So anytime I do that, it always would lead to something I would regret the next day. Nothing really bad, but within myself, my own thing, because it was not my truth. And if it's not the truth, then it must be a lie.
So are you saying that you didn't like have a blackout drunk episode? I mean, you just felt a little guilty for doing it for the wrong reasons? Is that right?
Well, I have had those episodes actually, but harmless, in a harmless way to others, but not to myself. But no, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. The reason I was doing it was because of believing in the lies of the social drink, socializing, and it never felt right to me. So it was a lie to me. Like I was, and it's, not living my truth. It was not my real authentic self. Not that it even happened often. I mean, I'm hard on myself there, but my whole point is by doing this manifestation journal and writing things down, I've discovered the truth about a lot of things that I thought I wanted that I didn't. So many things I was lying to myself about. And it's a beautiful experience. It's powerful. So then I'm thinking, what shall I do? Should I continue? Is this a block? Because I overanalyze.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it must be a block. I must power forward. I must keep writing it. Must be another lie.
Let me ask you this, because one of the biggest epiphanies I had was like realizing how much I lied to myself. And this was like a few years ago where I lied about what I knew. I lied to myself about a lot of things. And I think we lie to ourselves, if we don't realize it, we lie to ourselves more than anyone, really. You know what I mean? So do you feel like when you started this manifestation 40 days and 40 nights journey that you were sort of not aiming as high as you wanted to aim, like you sort of settled for something that was easier to manifest? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, it might be easy to just get a promotion at this job rather than a whole new job that I really love. So I'm just going to aim for doing well where I'm at because that's easier than changing up my whole life and finding a whole new job. Were you sort of settling down for something? Is that where the lie came in? Or how would you say you went wrong as far as choosing what you wanted to manifest?
No, it wasn't right. That wasn't it. I thought I love. Okay.
I'm having problems hearing you all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. Is that better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Is it better? Okay, maybe it was just the way I had it sitting. Okay, I think we'll have to break it up. Okay. The lies that I have been believing or telling myself were more based on the collective belief system, if you will, about religion. You know, I was so well trained in the Bible that I believed it. But now I look back at it.
Well, you sound like you're underwater. Hold on, I think the connection got bad.
For
a second. Yeah, it's bad. Sorry, I can tell you're talking, but I can't understand anything. It's like you got one bar or something.
Really?
No. Sounds funny, but no, I can't understand you.
It must be on
there,
your
you're back.
Okay,
you're good.
Let me take my... Really? Okay, because now I'm standing with one shoe off and one shoe on. So this is... That's a revelation. That's exactly...
Keep everything just like it is. Staying with one foot up and one arm out.
I know, but I think it's bad luck. Ask Sherry, is it bad luck to have one shoe on and one shoe off? Okay. So all right, I'm going to try to bring this in and really focus here.
Okay.
As far as the lies go, you're right. From my experience, I realized that I was lying to myself about who I am, because the truth is, right now, I didn't even know who I am.
Yeah.
And anymore. I know what I'm supposed to be. I know how I'm supposed to feel. So when I say the lies, that's what I'm referring to. The lies not being authentic to fit in and whatever circumstance. And it's okay, so like at work, I'm pretty much known as like insecure and gentle and kind and the nice one who never stands up for herself. And people push me around all the time. And the truth is, that's really not my truth.
Yeah.
My truth is I'm really confident in what I'm doing, but I feel like it's not necessary. Like, if you need to go in front of me, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but when people expect it or act like, oh, that's just April, just put her to the back, put baby in the corner. Well, that upsets me, so telling myself that it's in it was a lie.
I see. Because
I do matter, and I am worthy to be treated with respect. And I also am gentle, but it doesn't mean I want to be walked all over.
Exactly. And you're talking, so many people can relate with what you're saying right now. It's like sort of a pick your battles well sort of thing. And it's like if you allow people to take advantage of you, they will, you know, so you really don't want to be taken advantage of, but you really don't care at the same time to you know, have any kind of static or I totally get what you're saying. And it happens to many of us that are gentle souls and we just really don't want to fight. We want to be sort of easygoing, but people take advantage of that. So you end up suffering for it, you know. So, yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so my lie there would be that it's okay for you to do that to me. No, it's not okay.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So my lie would be like, well, Jesus would want me to do this. Jesus, you know, no, that's not the truth. The truth is be bold and be loved and have a voice, and my voice is worth being heard. And I've always been afraid to speak my truth. That is the truth. And that, so I lied by not speaking my truth, if you will.
Yeah.
In important situations.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been for me personally because I've pushed myself down so far that I would always speak the truth. Like for Sugar Lips,
yeah,
I became Mama Bear and to the doctors, and you know, like I can do it for others, but when it comes for me, I feel or I believe that I didn't matter, but I know that's a lie now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for a lot of us. It's like that.
Does that make any sense?
It totally.
Okay.
I'm living all in it. It's easy to take up for someone else. If someone messes with your kid or your loved one, it's easy to stand up for them. But then when it comes to yourself, it's easy to sort of just let it go. But then it can spiral into people wanting to bully you and push you around and take advantage of you. So where do you draw the line? And it's like once you kind of start that, it can snowball.
Yeah, or they think that, okay, so because I wear patchouli and I believe in natural healing and herbs and stuff, they automatically think that I'm this peace, love hippie.
Right.
That then they don't take me seriously when I speak, and I'm serious.
Yeah.
And even when I say I'm serious, they'll laugh. But I'm being serious about something. So it's almost like that's been, not that I love to laugh and cut up and, yeah, and I know I'm funny and I like to be spiffy, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I feel like I have something to say and I'm not just a nobody. It's not even that I have something to say. It's like God has something to say.
Right. You want to be taken seriously.
Because if I find it, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's been a lie because I've covered up how serious things are with joking. And it's my own persona. It's not their fault. It's my projection of myself because it's a way to hide behind the true hurt and heartache and the salt of my words. Mm-hmm. It's like I've watered down the truth by hiding behind laughter. Mm-hmm. And that's another lie for me.
Yeah.
That I revealed about. Another mask. Maybe lie is a hard word, but it's another mask that I wore that I guess I'm taking off now. I'm closer to authenticity. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. If I want to be taken serious about certain things and have salt in the words, and when I say salt in the words to me is something to do with the kingdom of love. That's what matters to me. So it's not about, I want to be taken serious about, I want my desk organized or something. I'm talking about how people are treated. The important things to me are the spiritual things, the kingdom of love.
Okay, so you're not actually talking about work-related things for sure. So it's not like something needs to be handled at work and then there. Oh, that too?
It's all over the place.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's all over. It's at work. Well, okay, like one of the things at work that really trigger me is this is business, don't take it personal. Hello, I am in person here. Yeah. How can I not take my life personal? Whether I'm at work, whether I'm whatever role I'm playing, I want to be 100% present. And I can't, it's like compromising. I'm not going to compromise at work anymore. And I think that's maybe what happened when I started journaling, because at the time, at the beginning when I started doing my manifestation, this is what I wanted. And I enjoyed going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden, I have to make myself. And I sit there to the point that I thought, okay, I know I have to move on now. We don't have to make a wreck of the place. I'm talking to my team,
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. We can leave out in victory, and we don't have to blow the whole place down.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
We can move on in a victorious way and still be productive and successful and leave that energy there versus destructive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like walking out because I can't take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking out because I can't take another minute of whatever it is. So what happened with journaling? Now, this is a funny story. Seriously. See what I do? Like, I'm being serious about being funny there. Okay, so I had this dream. You asked me about writing and if I thought it was powerful. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how powerful it was. Mm-hmm. This is before I began my manifestation journal, and I began journaling because of this dream. Okay, I had this vivid dream that I met my spirit guide, and one of my spirit guides ended up being a white bird. Mm-hmm. This big white cockatoo bird. In my dream, I went into this, it was with my family or something. It was just like a ghetto place. And this bird, we were walking down the steps, moving something out, and this bird came flying out, landed on my head, and was like kind of hurting me. And I got it off my head, and it started biting my finger. My finger so hard that it went, I'm like, oh, it hurts so bad. It went inside of my finger and inside of my body. This big cockatoo. I know, it's a dream, people.
Right. You gotta love those bizarre dreams like that.
It was so real, though, right?
Yeah.
And this bird said, it told me distinctly, I will not go back, because I was going to make it go back. Mm-hmm. I think I wrote it down. A large white cockatoo. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try to read what I wrote down in my journal. So I think I met one of my guides last night, a large white cockatoo. What a wild dream and vivid dream. He chose to come with me after moving my sister from I put white trash household with her, because it was like a white trash place, with her children and one baby boy who was mine, I think. And I tried to give the cockatiel back, give it to my mom. I told my sister, I'm going to give it to Mom. She loves birds. And it started biting me, and that's when it went inside my finger, and my right pointer finger, and it shrunk down and crawled inside, and it hurt so bad. Finally, I told him that if it didn't come out, I was going to cut him out so he came out. So I'm telling him, because I got this big lump on my finger, and I'm like, if you don't come out, I'm going to cut you out. And he said he never wanted to go back to that horrible place, and I told him he would never have to. Mm-hmm. And then I realized the finger he crawled in was my writing finger. So maybe I should write. So I will start writing. I'm not sure of his name, but I will ask, what is his name? Okay, so I asked that day that his name be revealed to me in such a way that I knew that it would be his name. So I get these little messages sent to me. They're from, they're like horse cards. It's like a horoscope, but, I'm talking about a horse, like horses that you ride. Right. But every day I get a daily message. And the daily message, I don't know if I wrote it down. It came directly through an email. So the daily message says, it usually says, to April, this message is for you. Mm-hmm. And this one said, to whatever your name is, this message is for you. And it had, guess what the name of the horse was? It was a white horse. Its name was Max, but its name was, not Max. I thought it would be Max or Sam, but I didn't. Here's what I wrote. I feel like I want to say Max or Sam, but I have a bad connection with the word Sam because of that whole thing, with Sam and the music thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought, I don't want it to be Sam. I didn't want it to be, no offense to anyone, but for my experience there, it freaked me out.
Yeah, we love Nathan.
So,
we just don't want our thing.
I do.
I got it.
I just didn't want my bird named Sam. So I thought Max, but I let it go. Anyways, so the card said, my name is Saint Maverick. Saint Mav. So, because when it came across, it says to whatever your name is, or usually it says to April, this is your daily message to whosoever the name is, whatever. So it was a nameless person this message came to, and then it came from the white horse named Saint Maverick. So I knew then that was his name. So it went inside my writing finger, okay, which told me if I want to connect with my spirit guides, I need to write. And other things happened. So that's when I started writing this manifestation, and I got my journal and thought, I'll start doing this. I got the book. I'm going to start practicing it. So that's how powerful writing is. So what it did was reveal to me that it wasn't really what I wanted from my awakened heart. It's what I thought others wanted from me. To be a successful career woman, to prove to my children I can face my fears. No, this career has made me face so many fears with computers, with typing, with getting out there, that it's been a great journey. But all of a sudden it ended inside of me. Like, I know that I have to move forward now.
So you feel like you learned your lessons at that place and you're ready to move on?
Apparently. Because, like, as soon as I realized I let go of wanting a mortgage, I had to let go of my dream of the homestead, which I really want, but it was like I had to stay at this job in order to have that, and I felt trapped.
Right.
Because all of a sudden I didn't want this job anymore, and I keep writing this, and then I'm writing these lies down. Can you imagine? Yeah. And when you're writing and you're being so powerful with yourself and you're writing them down, not only was I not walking my talk, I wasn't walking or feeling my words that I'm writing down, the living word,
Right. So it started to feel really disingenuous then.
Oh, like to the point that these overwhelming feelings of, I'm seriously, like, I would be talking myself into not walking out of this position, and that's the worst thing you can do, in a career.
Yeah.
You walk out, you're done. I mean, especially at my age, what am I going to say? Oh, I just didn't like it anymore. I mean, really? Grow up. So I had to, talk myself into staying. And it was a place I used to love to go to. And all of a sudden, to the point where I thought, oh my gosh, I'm like wrestling with the universe right now. But that was my lesson.
Yeah.
I know what.
Wait, did you take your other shoe off? I'm losing you again.
I did.
You forgot. All right, I guess you put it back on. We're all good again.
That's crazy. Okay. So it was like, so my lesson is for myself that writing this down is so powerful that you will manifest your heart's desire. If you're truly seeking to be authentic in your heart, God is going to show you, a truth seeker. So here's what I write now. It went from that to, and it's the moment that I said out loud to my partner, hey, I don't want this job anymore, and it's going to mean that I probably am not going to get a mortgage loan for another year. We were going to get one together, go together and then remodel his place and yada, yada, yada. But he goes, I don't know what the big rush was about anyways.
Right.
So he was totally cool with it. It was me that was putting all this pressure. The moment I said that and by the way, I hate that town, I'm moving on, and just started speaking my truth, I feel happy again and so much lighter. So now I write, I'm making plans to move on from Citibank. However, I'm also experiencing being number one on our team for as long as I am employed. I love earning the highest commission possible, and by going green across the board, I enjoy and delight at work with my team. The doors of opportunity open for me as I build my dream business. And then I put, so I completely let go.
Yeah. You like kind of let it evolve, your whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I know I'm leaving. I cried uncle. Okay. But it doesn't mean I have to leave on a bad note. I can leave with a big, successful bang. So that's what I'm writing now. Let me leave with only love between me and my team members and my manager, who I do love, all of them, I hear you, God. I hear you, universe. I hear you. I don't have to be pushed out the door anymore. I hear you, so let's do it in such a way that's honorable. And it can go both ways, because you remember that old gospel song, when God says you got to move, you got to move.
Right.
So when the Lord says it's time to move, it's time to move. So you can do it the easy way, or you can
Kicking
cause
and
a
screaming.
huge disaster. Yeah, you can cause a huge disaster one way or another. We're moving on. So I accepted it, and I let go. Till I let go of whatever my career will be, whatever. I'm open now. I'm not holding on to the outcome. And I think that's what Eileen wants, for us not to hold on to the outcome, and somehow that happened authentically. And then as far as my homestead, I put, I'm handing over my dreams and visions of my own homestead over to the Godhead. I'm looking forward to the perfect place at the perfect time at the perfect price, and I am worthy of all of this, and so it is, in the name of Jesus. So I just let it all go, and so that's what I'm writing now, and I will finish doing it for 40 days. So we'll see how it transforms, but it was just interesting to me how, writing revealed to me that that's not what I wanted.
What about adding anything for what you were talking about earlier in the conversation about being taken seriously and you will be heard, or something along those lines? Is that sort of encapsulated with that?
Well, that's my thing. I would have to restart. That's my thing is like, you're supposed to stick with, and here we have rules and regulations kind of, but, for the pattern to work, you want to kind of stick with the same intention for 40 days, even though you're writing it differently.
Right.
So I guess I could incorporate in, I'm experiencing speaking my truth has made me feel more free at work. So basically I think you're supposed to keep the same theme for the 40 days, but write it differently.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So that would be recreating a whole new... I want to finish the 40 days with this because it's been so revealing.
Right. I totally understand.
Yeah. So
but that's cool. So you're like halfway through.
Yes, I am. I am halfway through, and that's what happened. So I guess releasing it and finding a way to let go of the outcome and just... But I feel so much lighter and so good. Like, I had a great, successful day today at work. The time went by super fast. And, I'm still meeting my goals and doing great. So I can leave successfully for any reason that I want, just to say, it's time for me to move on. So I'm a personal banker, and driving to work today, I have another revelation that says, hey, why don't you get a personal loan and start your own business? Isn't that really what you want to do? And I'm like, hello, I should have had a VA. You know what I mean? Like, hello, I'm a personal banker. See, now, I mean, when I say it's okay to laugh now, just because I want to be serious, by the way. Because I am not, I am funny, but I know the difference when I'm trying to hide, you know, my authenticity. And I definitely don't do that with anyone here with our group. It's all of me, you know.
Yeah, it's a safe place.
It is a safe place. So it's powerful. I just want to encourage everyone, if they want to write and see what happens. You know, I'd love to hear, you know, other people's experiences. And I think it was a combination of everything, you know, with the books I read and finally saying, yeah, I do want to walk my talk. You know, I really got that from, I know I won't say her name right, but Van Gogh, her book, The Buddhist.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Van Gogh. Sorry, I thought you were saying Van Gogh for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking.
I probably was. All right. So I think I'm going to go for a personal loan and get back into my herb business and still work, you know. I don't know what kind of career I'm going to have, but I feel like I'm going to call, I know I'm going to call on something that I can certainly be passionate about and believe in. Not just go to work and you can do your best and glorify God at anything we do, you know. But I want it to be more than that. I want it to be from my heart and passionate, and I'm not even sure what that is, but that's okay.
Well, I do have Van Gogh back on the 24th on Monday. So do you have anything you want me to ask her while she's on?
No, I just want to hear what she has to say because, you know, like reading her book, I feel like she gave me so many of the answers and the step-by-step process.
Yeah.
It was powerful because for me, I'm having some logic and step-by-step really helped me get where I'm at. And like I said, even just writing this down and, you know, it's just so powerful.
It really is. Writing things down is so powerful.
Halfway through.
I typed her name in the chat just so you guys, if you want to look her up, you can find her books on Amazon or her YouTube channel or whatever. So, okay, so I was right where you were about the whole manifestation thing because I read the book. I thought it was great, but, you know, when I got to the end, I'm like, what do I really want to manifest right now? And, you know, my life just changes so much and I've got so much going on that I'm like, I just feel like I'm just in the flow most of the time, and I really don't know what to expect as far as living in the now and trying to plan for the future. And then I feel like, sort of like the experience you had, I see that happening where I'd get halfway through and either be like, you know what, I changed my mind, I'm going to just do this or whatever. So I'm just, I don't know. I don't really have any specific things. Like I don't care to move or get a different job. I would like to, you know, manifest more abundance, but at the same time, I'm okay with just trusting the universe to provide, trusting God to provide or whatever. So I don't know. I don't feel stuck either. You know, I just feel like I'm sort of just in the flow, in the vortex, as Abraham Hicks talks about. I just try to stay right in there and just go with the flow, as people say, you know.
Yeah, and that makes sense but for you to be where you are, you already went through what I'm probably going through now.
Yeah.
Because you left the career, you couldn't take it anymore. You're just like, I can't do, you know, you left it.
Yeah.
You got off, you cleared your mind with, not to be negative by any means. I think it's a great gift that you share, and you're authentic with us. But how you said you used to take, wasn't it Adderall or something, and you came completely off that, and then even with the medicinal use of herbs, you came off of that. So your journey, where you can be now, and just letting it flow. And
it was
that,
all by
I
accident
love
too.
that.
Yeah, sort of by accident, you know. I mean, I know there's no accidents now, but at the time, you know, it just the circumstances. I couldn't afford the prescriptions anymore. I had such high energy from realizing the Mandela effect was really happening. I didn't have any problem just staying focused on trying to figure it out at that moment. So my ADHD wasn't a problem anymore. And just cutting down my cost of living. I mean, when I realized that I spent like half of the month I worked for my car payment and my drugs, basically, my pharmaceuticals and plant medicine or whatever. And then by cutting that out, I could cut out half of the need of, you know, working half of the month. So it just, you know, it all worked out perfectly. But at the time, it just seemed like that's just how stuff was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and isn't that beautiful that those steps got you there, but then you've learned to just totally trust now. It was, like you said earlier to me, a faith builder. Like, it built your faith to know time and time again you were picked up, or you know it's going to be okay. And it's a great place to be where you're at, like, to be content, you know?
Absolutely.
But you're following your heart and you're doing what you love. And look at all the difference you make because of that for all of us.
So crazy. I never would have thought I'd be here.
I know, and here you are. That's amazing. I think it's so beautiful. But I don't want to take up any more time, although I need to speak and say I'm so happy that I feel heard among all of you.
Yeah.
And I really do my best to really hear when people call in. I really listen and hear them. And that's so important. I think that we are all heard and that we all have something to say. And to change it a little bit. So I guess there was a UFO that landed in Australia.
Oh yeah, Mr. MBB 333 had it on his site.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Now,
yeah, like 2 days in a row or something, wasn't
it? Yeah. Now, wasn't one of the power, not Power of Eight anymore, but the manifestations as a group manifestation? Wasn't one of her ideas? I don't know if she went through with it. I can't remember, but it seems
For
like
contact?
we meditated that we would for contact.
Oh yeah, we did contact
and
before.
That it would be revealed, and then bada bing. I mean, the video looks pretty real to me.
Oh yeah, I think it's legit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I hope, like, on the way, I was like, if I really manifest, I'd be like, let's do it. Let's get it on so I don't have to go to work tomorrow. That's the main reason. That's my real truth. I have a big one coming.
I don't know how many times I thought of that. I'm like, man, I just love for a gigantic cataclysm to happen just so I wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow. Jeez.
Really?
Yeah, I just wanted some kind of excitement. I didn't really care what it was, even if I had to suffer a little bit, you know? Heck, I'm suffering at work anyway, right?
Let the aliens come. Woohoo, I hope they land in the White House. Like, and everybody freaks out.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you just get stuck in the grind and you just want something to change, and not realizing that you have the power within you to change it right wherever you are.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you look around, that was like one of my things that revealed to me was because my perspective changed, and all of a sudden the place I wanted to come to, I don't anymore. Everything around me started changing. Get it? Like, everything around me started changing to the point that I had to say, I cry, uncle. Okay, I get my authentic heart. I've heard you. Okay, let's lead peacefully. Let's get it together. Because I want it to be nothing but love between us, I mean, little small disasters were starting to take place, and at work. But it showed the power of the projection of manifesting what's around us. And then I went to visit my, I hate to use the word ex, but he was my ex-father-in-law, was in the hospital. So my daughter wanted to go see her grandfather, and of course I went with her. She asked me to. Of course I will. And we were in there, but the little nurse came in, little young girl, and setting up his tray, and he said, I forget what he asked. She goes, hey. I said, well, maybe he would like it closer, like in front of him, instead of on the side, because he was a little loopy, from what he was going through. And she goes, hey, I'm in your world. It's all about what you want. I'm here for you. I'm in your world. And when she said it, I thought, oh, how true that really is. It's so true. Like, all these people around us are in our play, in our world. So when we're projecting all this, so as soon as I gave myself an attitude adjustment and told the truth to myself and said, I released myself from this career, from the mortgage, from everything that was making me feel trapped, I released it. I'm able to go in now and see light at the end of the tunnel and think, okay, it may just be a couple more days, couple more weeks, I got this. So the whole atmosphere changed around me with my attitude adjustment.
So anything going on? You mentioned spiritual stuff or, Christianity, Bible stuff. What's been going on that leg of the journey? Anything exciting?
Well, everything's exciting. Like, the book of Revelation is unfolding right before our eyes, and I just, reading it, I feel like I'm just now reading it from a spiritual realm. Like, I was reading it physically and then metaphysically and now spiritually.
Right.
And seeing so many different things, like every word, it means so much more. Like Todd with is it Todd with, how does he say it, Todd with 1D?
Yeah, Todd with 1D.
That called it. He had, so it was so great when he called in and you were talking about, he was talking about math and everything, and then how that scripture says, and I do remember, or two or more are gathered together.
Oh, yeah.
There I am in the midst, there I am in their midst.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say that anymore, but it was so great how you brought that out, and it to me, I kind of giggle because I'm thinking this mathematician, scientist took this whole paragraph to say, a half a verse that Jesus spoke.
I know, right? And it's like, and it's like, and I get what you're saying, because that's a perfect example right there. We've read that over and over again, and it makes sense on the surface, just like it is. But then when he said that, I'm like, wait a minute, I can see that in such a deeper way than I used to now. And I love when that happens. That happens over and over again. That's why you can read the Bible dozens of times with new eyes, fresh eyes, and it's not the same book. It begins to transform as you get a deeper and deeper understanding. Things that seemed one way, you get a deeper understanding with it, and that's why I read it so many times. And I'm thankful for it, because now they like these changes that are happening. It's like, what? I mean, I can't hardly read a few verses and not notice something. And I mean, they're not all 100% changes for me because I read different translations, but I find myself like getting on, Bible Gateway or something and flipping through some of the main translations I read, and I can't find it the way I remember it on a lot of verses because I didn't read that many. I read of course, the King James, the New King James, the NIV, and the NASB is the one I would try to go to for the purest sort of translation. It was sort of harder to read it that way, but it was almost the least messed up from what it was originally. But a lot of the words can get translated so many ways that you really have to go to the interlinear and see what each word means, because so many times, it might mean death or grave or hell, and it's translated as hell, but it really means the grave or death. And so you really have to look and see what words were used and how they were translated over, because just one verse can have a completely different meaning when you begin to break down each of the words,
Absolutely, and hell's a good one because, you're thinking, the Hades, where was that place where they burnt garbage and that was hell? That was Hades. That was,
Right.
the fire
The trash pit,
everlasting was
yeah.
actually the trash pit where they would throw babies. And so that's why it was, they could describe hell like that,
Right.
and so, yeah, and I think about that, living in that fear. Wow, was I in love with God or afraid of God then?
Yeah.
I think I was afraid of God, and I wanted to love him, but I didn't know how to because of the fear got in my way.
Absolutely. And you were scared
to
to dig into anything because you thought, he was out to get you and stuff. You don't even realize that until you get out of it. And I sort of had to come to this place where I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go out on a limb to find God, my Heavenly Father, and if he's going to break the limb off and burn me forever for really wanting to know a deeper understanding. And of course, it helped with the way Jesus treated doubting Thomas, of course, he didn't shun him away. He said, well, stick your hand in my wound, stick your hand in my side and check it out for yourself. He didn't say, well, if you can't believe on faith alone, then you're out of here. You know what I mean? So it's not even represented that way. In fact, if one of my kids did something dangerous to come find me, I wouldn't kill him for it. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And then, you think of it where he says, if your child would come to you and ask for a fish, would you give him a serpent?
Right.
What do you think I'm going to give you? If you ask for truth, you think I'm going to give you a lie?
Right.
I mean, the lies, but it's still that inner journey from within and finding the God within. I always say the God within, the center of my heart and the center of the universe, the Godhead. Because it's so much bigger than anything, and yet it's so simple and beautiful at the same time. Be kind and love.
Yeah.
But it's I just need to fall in love with who I am, and like I think since my walk-in came in in 2012, I know I had a walk-in come in, and remember my session. It says it was just my higher version of myself, like from the future or whatever. I've been, reinvented, like God says, recreation.
Yeah.
A new creation. I'm a new creation, and I want to find out what my powers are now to glorify God in everything I do, say, and am. Like, I know we can do it at each version, each layer, each dimension. Like, it was funny that Eileen said for our higher self to come through to us, even, I think she even mentioned somehow like when we're sleeping. But I have been doing that to where I call in, I have a divine communication team I call on, and it's the protective agent and the harmonizing team. So anything that is of negative energy, any shape, form, or kind, delete, cancel, deactivate, remove, love, heal, forgive, and anoint, send to the one true Godhead, that it may be transmuted into opposite energetic form from whence it came. So that covers everything, right? Yeah. And then I call in the harmonizing team to bring into harmony. That way any energies I work with, they're in harmony and tune with the one true Godhead. And I say some other stuff, but it's boring.
But it works.
But to you guys it'd be boring. You have to find your own way, so I don't have to repeat all that. But you get the point.
Right.
But I do that, and even in my dreams, because I had these dreams where I was going back and reliving. I'm always with my children, like living in the past in my dreams, and it's weird things, And but it's just hard to describe, but. So then I started saying, well, there must be a lesson or something here for me. What is it? Let me choose love. Let me always choose love, even in my dreams. No matter where I'm at, whether I'm dreaming, in what lifetime, just let me choose love, whatever that is. But it works. I do some weird things in my dreams now.
Like what?
Well, I can't tell if I was dreaming or awake, but if I was dreaming I was awake, okay? And I just know my eyes were open, and I saw one of a young boy, a really close friend, and like one of my own sons, grew up in the church with my boys, got ran over by a car and died not long ago, like a few months ago. Okay, and it's a very sad for the whole community, it's just tragic. And he's only, we actually buried him on my oldest daughter's birthday, and she's 31, so he was probably close to 30, okay? And it was just horrible. Anyways, I saw his face as plain as day. I opened my eyes, whether they were open or not, it still has to be determined. And I saw his face as plain as day, to the point that I was swinging at it. And Chris said I was swinging over him, and he said, "Hey, quit that, settle down," or something. He said I just laid I laid back down. I said, "Were my eyes open?" He said, "Oh, no, it was dark." He goes, "But you raised up and was swinging at something." And I guess in my dream, or whether I was saying it out loud, he said, "You were saying something." I was singing, "It can't be, it can't be." Trying to get rid of his face because it scared me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like my hand was going through his face, and he was smiling at me as big as could be, as plain as day. Now, I don't know if my eyes were closed or open, but there was action, so I've been doing little things like that.
Wow, that sounds like out-of-body stuff. Have you been getting any vibrations or anything in your body?
Yes, I do, and sometimes even when I'm standing in my seat, I feel like I can feel like there's an earthquake that's coming, or like I can feel it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so a lot of people have these experiences and they never leave their room because they don't realize, or they'll lay back down, or they'll feel like they're laying back down. They're really out of their body, and their body's still in the bed, and they just never explore. So if you ever get to that place, try to just take off flying and see if you can just fly right out through your ceiling and roof and everything and go explore. If you can't, no harm, no foul. You'll just jump and you'll be like, what was I thinking? But it's worth a try.
Yeah. I'll just call in St. Maverick to take me. He's this cool bird.
Yeah.
That he's one of my spirit guides, the cockatoo. I have a cockatoo, which is funny. Okay, is anyone else wanting to talk?
Nobody's waiting.
Has anyone else come?
No, nobody's waiting right now. But if you need to go, I can let you go.
Yeah, I just want to open the lineup for others and hear their experience. That you always help me. I love everyone, and it's so important, I think, that we have a space to where we can, practice our authenticity and be able to take it out into the world with no fear.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for being so brave and sharing your story and everything. It's helpful to others to be more brave and share their stories. So we're all doing our part. Yeah. You can see it's like this well-oiled machine, and we're all here helping each other, directly and indirectly. So it's perfect. Yeah.
And speaking of that, another powerful thing you said, the spiritual thing, and because you said that, it reminded me. Okay, so my daughter came in, and, we went up to see her grandfather, and, some other things have happened, some sad things and happy things at the same time in the physical realm. Mm-hmm. But she's telling me her experiences, and I didn't check the date to see if it was the same day I was experiencing the same thing, but all of a sudden she's standing up for herself at work and in other places, and I did a card reading for her, and it was all about speaking your truth from your heart, standing up for yourself, all these things. And she goes, "Oh, it's so right on." Well, the thing is, that has been my exact experience too. And she used some of the same exact words that I use, like everyone matters, everyone has a voice. This is what I was telling my manager because of the situation that arose, and I stood up not only for myself but for my team. And I said, we're not, because they make it was almost like all of a sudden they were making it like we were just replaceable and we're just warming the seat. And no, we've been number one the last 90 days. We've go above and beyond our goals. So it just went through me the wrong way, And I was telling him, everyone matters. Like, we are not replaceable. I'm not replaceable. It was something that I had to say, right?
Yeah.
It really changed some things, but so she was using the very same words at her work. And I was letting her finish, and I shared. I said, I've been going through some of the same things, but I don't think she realized to the depth. But think about this. And I know we all, maybe not all, but a lot of us believe here that as we heal things, we heal it in our ancestors,
Yeah.
in our DNA. Think about it. I don't know if she was healing it in me or I was healing it in her, but we did it together. It went through the DNA, and it does it fast now. My niece experienced things. I got truth bumps telling you this right now, that it's happening so fast because of the veil coming between the time, which there is no time, but just so that we can understand it in this physical realm, the past, present, and future all becoming one. But think about how much healing through the ancestors is taking place, and I am seeing confirmation of it almost immediately. I mean, so now I think of the power of overcoming and, like you're saying, being brave to call in and speak. Well, guess what? I'm helping all of my ancestors be brave and to speak. All of us. And it's probably happening right now somewhere else. In this timeline and others.
Absolutely. So do you can you pull a card for the group right now, or can you not do that?
Oh yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome.
Hopefully I can walk and talk and all right, I'm gonna
just keep the shoe on. I'm just kidding.
If you want to go ahead, and I'll do my little meditation that I do quietly, and then you can talk to the group and I'll come back in. So this card, I'll put the intention of what we all need to know in this moment. So give me just a moment, and then I'll let you speak in the meantime.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let me look in the chat and see if I've been missing anything here. I just love it. You guys are talking about all sorts of cool stuff. Big happy group. Oh, okay, so we'll have a caller up after we do this card reading with April. Muy perfecto. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, cool. It's going to be Renee up next. Be right with you, Renee. We're going to get a card from April. She's doing her little meditation thing. And then we'll see what comes up. Do a little Valentine's Day card. What do we have today for Valentine's Day for the group?
Well, I got to tell it like it is. I didn't want this card.
Oh, no.
It's not a bad card at all, but the way I do card readings, and I think a lot of us do that. Now, the deck that I'm using, I absolutely love. It is Nature Spirit, and it's the Oracle Guidebook by Denise Lynn, and she's on Hay House. But they're so beautiful and powerful, but they fly out. I mean, you can't deny what card it is. You'll be shuffling, and they just fly out and flip over. So
that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. It flips out, and I even shuffled and thought, come on, give me another one. And it was like, no, this is it, nothing. So it's actually for all of us. I said, what is our message for all of us who love Vibe Tribe? It's Wounded Healer. And I can, after I hang up, I'll take a picture. And if I take a picture, I can send it to text you on your personal phone. I don't know if you can upload it. But it's really pretty, the card itself, because I know a lot of times we need to just look at the art and see it too. But it's hard to describe. But I'll read it quickly, and then we can move on. But Wounded Healer. Okay, so the card meaning is healing energy, vitality, and life force energy are flowing through you and to you. You are a healer and you provide healing for others, even if you're not conscious of it. Whatever needs healing in your life is being resolved. Your so-called faults are becoming your virtues. No matter what happened in your past, the past does not need to be equal or to equal the future. It's true. The cracks can be where the light enters the soul.
I think it's a good message.
It is a good message.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're all sort of wounded healers here. But that makes us more empathic, both.
Yeah, and the cracks, the light does come in, and so yeah, we are all wounded healers. It is perfect, actually. It is. I guess I just think of the wounded healer as this, in the stars in astrology. I think it's Chiron, the wounded healer, and I guess there's a part of me that says, no, I don't want any more lessons. Give me all the lessons.
Right. No more lessons. Give me the blessings. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a picture of it and then send it to you, and then if you can post it, great. If not, we all get it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you, April.
All right. Lots of love. I'll be listening in. Love y'all.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's go.
You're listening to The Love Stream.
Unbiased and on the fence.
Okay, gonna go back to the phone lines. Renee, is this you?
It's me, the wounded healer. That was beautiful.
It was.
Hashtag
I thought it was perfect.
Worker, hashtag everything. There's so many hats. That was perfect. We're all together on Valentine's Day as wounded healers. I think that's nothing more beautiful than what she just said,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How can we relate if we don't know what it's like? So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm not about titles or anything, even though I work in Hollywood, but I mean, isn't that a light worker weird? Every person I meet that's a light worker, we're like, I went through X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, and you survived that? It's like we're all wounded heroes so that we can go through the greatest depths of life, and then now we're living in these times. This is like, oh, by the way, I just had my birthday, so I never talk about my age, but I just turned 42, so I know about this universe, even though everyone thinks I'm 30. But, yeah, we grew up in the same kind of era, Shane,
Yeah, oh, yeah. So how was your birthday? Everything go good?
Oh, my gosh, my birthday was amazing, but because I'm, living in this existence where I'm a wounded healer, but I'm not a victim anymore. So my birthday was the best. It didn't. Awesome. Everything fell through, all the plans, everything. But then what happened at the end was better than what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to not stick to what we think is the plan. The plan is let it go.
Yep, let it go. Go with the flow.
It's so true. It's so true. And I know it's so hard for people. And I just want to T. Taylor and a lot of you in my love tribe, which is all of, thank you, Shane, by the way, for introducing me to the love tribe, Michelle Wolf. Oh, I see Biker Babes here and everyone else. I can't believe
such a
it.
great
I would have never thought finding your channel in 2007, and then I met Allison Coe, and they told me I'm a bridge builder in Hollywood, and she said bridge builder. It's just amazing, the connection we brought together, and it's Valentine's Day, so I want to just say I love you all. I'm so happy I got to meet a lot of you in our avatars in the present. You guys are amazing. my bird phoenix is my Valentine. But every day, like, you know, it gets a little harder, and then I wake up to such beautiful, like, you know, this community is like spreading love, and we're like, we can do this, you know?
Yeah, it's like just helping each other all the time and being there for each other, and it's like way more than we've had in the past. So it's nice to be able to have this safe place to come and just hang out and talk. And you know, really, it sounds like such a simple thing, but just being able to talk to people and not be looked at like you're crazy is huge. You know what I mean? Oop, did I lose you? Might have lost you. Oh gosh. Did you get beamed up, Renee? Oh, might have lost Renee. But totally true. Let me see if I can, oh, April sent me the picture. Let me email that to myself. And I will show you guys what that card that went with the reading looks like. Once I shovel through some of Micah's emails here. I'm just messing with you, Micah, if you're listening. Just teasing. Okay, let me see if I can find this image for you guys really fast here. Send it to myself. Here it is. That's weird. Sending it, receiving it. Okay, let me pull it up on my phone here. We'll give Renee a chance to hop back. Renee, you might have bumped your mute because we're still connected. Nope, we're not connected. You just disappeared. Call has dropped. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure I don't have any sensitive data on the screen there. Okay, let me go here. Right screen. There we go. It's beautiful. So there's the card that goes with April's reading she just gave us. Very nice. The Wounded Healer. Excellent image. All right, let's go back.
Let's go.
You're listening to The Love Street.
Unbiased and on the fence.
All right, we got Renee back, you guys. Here we go. I'm going to bring you in.
All the birthday wishes actually was really awesome. I got disconnected and got so many birthday wishes. So thank you, everyone. I really, really appreciate it.
That's cool. All the love. We blew out the system.
Yeah, yeah.
We can expand it to
I
the whole
wanted to
world
talk
and, blow the cobwebs out.
But
and
I
we'll
wanted
be
to
good.
give you a compliment. Yeah, I want to just give you a compliment for, like, bringing us all together. Like, I can't say it enough, but obviously I got shut off saying it. But, like, I would have never, like, went to Sedona or met Michelle. You know, Travis's birthday's on my same day. Like, out of everyone combined together, we have the same exact birthday. And
How
I met
crazy is
Michelle
that?
because she's an Aquarius, and we had the same tree painting, like Rita and all of us. I can name the whole entire group. We've all made like a tree painting. So it's like when we come together, there's like the synchronicity is like ridiculous, So of course I get blown out,
Exactly. And it was so funny because when we just mentioned the ESETI thing, everybody like jumped right on it, like, yeah, definitely, we got to do it. And then everybody showed up, I think.
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
but
people resonated with it.
Yeah, but wasn't it like when you saw Michelle Wolf for the first time, and she's your sister, okay, Shane?
Yeah.
And you saw her, and she was like a nervous wreck. We're like, let's wait inside. She's like, why have to wait inside? We all just ran out, and you and Sherry showed up at the same time, and we all hugged each other, and you're like, I know you, Renee. And I'm like, wait, why is this not weird? You know? Like, I'm Mexican, so I just met my second cousin for the first time, and that was more weird than meeting you all.
Isn't that weird? It's weird that it's not weird, isn't it?
It's weird, but it's not weird, but it's weird. I just saw my second cousin. He's like, hey, by the way, I'm your second cousin. I'm like, wait, what? How many cousins do I have? But it's like, it's not like we're cousins. Like, we see each other, and, like, we know each other. Yeah. And we can say whatever we want to each other, and we don't feel weird about it,
I know. It's really cool.
Yeah, but thank you, Shane. Like, wow,
No
you had I'm going to say the cojones to go against everything that you believe and take a risk and, like, be like, no, I know I have to do this regardless of what anybody says,
Yeah.
You'd be kind of considered a dreamer,
Yeah, I've always been a rebel, but Jesus is my guy, and he's a rebel. I mean, people don't see him like that sometimes, but he was totally the rebel. That's,
Yes. You want to know what my calling card is?
What is it?
You can't spell renegade unless you spell Renee.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I am obsessed with Star Wars, by the way. And Megan did my BQH. And I kid you not, I actually have a storyline almost like Princess Leia.
Oh, that's awesome.
So apparently I came from Tiamat that was blown up. And I asked her, I'm like, why does I work in Hollywood. So everyone calls me like the queen of casting, like Princess Renee Victoria Garcia. Like, I'm always referred to like this like name, and I'm like, I asked her, I'm like, why does everyone always look at me like I'm some sort of leader? And I'm obsessed with Star Wars, and Princess Leia is my favorite character. So after she did it, apparently I'm not a queen. I was like a diplomat.
Wow.
For Tiamat, and actually, I didn't even know this. But what are those the lizard people that are the rainbow looking kind? What are they called? I don't know. There's so many names.
I haven't watched since I was
Drake, I don't know. Anyway, so one of them actually felt sorry for me, and then I don't know. Anyways, it turned into like, I was like, man, I should make and I'm a filmmaker. So I'm totally making a movie about something that was like a past life regression.
That's awesome.
Right? No, I'm
totally
a filmmaker. Cool. I was like, this is going to make the perfect script.
Yeah.
So, and I'm
How
sure,
much
right,
stuff?
when you hear, from what you do, right? Don't you hear so many stories that you're like, I can make a movie out of this, right?
Oh, totally, yeah. Yeah, I don't get a lot of past lives, though, in my sessions. It's
Oh, what do you do?
It's more current stuff or future stuff or there is some past life stuff, but it's really strange. I thought I'd get a lot more past life stuff. A lot of times it's just like a conversation, or a lot of, like April, who was just on, she got a lot of cool symbols, and that, you know, everything was really symbolic, so we had to kind of decipher it, and I think it unpacked for her over the next little bit of time. You know, things sort of played out in a way that she was figuring things out, and I don't know, it's just, I've just learned not to have any expectations, because you just never know what you're going to get, you know?
Yes, but you learn a lot too, right? So you
you
help people out, and don't you feel like there's some sort of like synchronicity where you're helping someone and then boom, like it helps your life too?
Totally. One of the things that I really enjoy about it is that, well, it didn't happen at first as much, but it's starting to do it more now. And I don't know if it's the energies or I'm just getting more into it and more relaxed with doing it, but I get a lot of downloads and information alongside with the person as they're going through the session. It's like they're on this journey and I'm with them. I'm in this meditative state, and I'll get a lot of visuals alongside them, and I'll be able to feel the energies when they're feeling them. And I can feel the blocks when they're feeling the blocks. It's really quite amazing.
Yeah, well, I think that goes back exactly with what you do for all of us. Like you've connected all of us, and I feel like, you know how we have like a mission and a plan, and we don't follow it, and the whole world goes to chaos. You know, so I feel like when we connect together, and you're supposed to like. That's the path. That's where we see the synchronicities. I see 144 all the time, and my friend's like, you know, she's not all into this, but she's really curious, and she's like, well, what does it mean when you see 144 all the time? I'm like, that means I draw a lot of paintings of bridges and, like, you know, Alison Coe, like when I saw her at a study, she talked about bridge building. I'm like, yeah, I'm a bridge builder. So I just really believe, like, when we know our true path, we see the signs and the synchronicities, and we don't follow it, then chaos happens in our life. Like, you know, that's what I feel. Well, that's what I feel. And then once I met all of you, when I met all of you, I was just like, oh my goodness, it's like you're not a second cousin. You're not even a cousin. Like, I connected with you, and man, in this study, I felt like I like graduated. It was really amazing. I went to the Ascended Masters. Oh, you just mentioned Jesus. Oh, yes, Jesus and I, like, Jesus helped me through all this. So I was like, when I went to a study, and you know that, what's the thing called, that circle?
Oh, the Pleiadian circle? Or
yes.
Okay.
So I went to that's called, or what do they call it also? Pleiadian circle, or what was the other name?
There's the medicine wheel, too. Did you go to the...
Yes, okay, medicine wheel. Okay, so I walked in there like, this is a medicine, like, I need to heal from everything. I'm coming in like, this is my medicine wheel. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here at a study. I'm going to just take this as a grain of salt. Like, I'm like you. I was like born and raised Catholic, you know. So I'm like, I'm going to walk in with this, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm just going to walk. So I'm like, you know, like the Holy Spirit, like, you know, Jesus, God, us, I call us the Holy Spirit too. The three of us, so the Trinity. So I was like, I'm only going to pick 3 spaces where I land at, and this is going to give me my message. And I ended up at the Pleiadians. I ended up with the story that my BQH with Megan was, I forget all their names. There's so many names. The one that starts with the A, Octarians? Octarians.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where in my BQH, they saved me and the reptilian that saved my life, that we were able to land the ship there. So before I even went to a study, this was all after that all this came to, it's called Revelation, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so the last place I go, I'm like, I ended up Ascended Masters. I'm like, who's the Ascended Master I know? I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, okay, Jesus, speak to me now. And I closed my eyes. I turned around and I looked up, and there were 30 birds flying over my head. Remember the birds? Did you see the birds that were around there?
I saw a flock of what I thought were birds, and they said they were bats. So I don't know. I guess there was birds and bats. But...
Well, I didn't No, they were all birds around me, sparrows.
Okay.
Dancing around and dancing. Oh, I want to make sure. I'm like, was there a bat? No, there was no bats. They were all sparrows, and they were all singing a song all around me.
Oh,
I started crying. It felt like a graduation, like balloons. I mean, you know, I have a bird named Phoenix, right?
Oh, yeah,
So, like,
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, and then I had an actor come in and say the symbol that God knows me as is Jesus is a bird with wings, and I have a tattoo with the same exact asceti sign on my back. I showed James. He was like, "What?" I'm like, "I got this done in 2009." He's like, "That matches the asceti sign." I'm like, "I know." So yeah, it's bananas, right? Everyone goes through and they have their own personal experience. But the question I want to know is, where are we going for 080820? Are we going to Savannah, Georgia?
I think that's what people are talking about. That would be interesting to head out east.
I'm saving. You got to tell us now so we can save our money.
That's the plan. I've got so much traveling to do. I just don't know, but that's sort of what we've been throwing around. You know, we've got this event in June, the first weekend of June in Connecticut, so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to swing all of this traveling, you know.
Oh, what's your event in Connecticut?
It's
Tell us about that.
The 2020 Mandela Effect Conference in New Haven, Connecticut, and it's going to be the first weekend in June. So then I'll have to swing the August a couple of months after that, June, July, August. Yeah, 2 months later.
Wait, so you're going to another conference? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, so much going on, and, you know, just
Yay.
trusting the universe.
Okay,
to
let's
get
just go. Let's go back into when did you start Unbiased and on the Fence?
February 2nd, Groundhog's Day of 2017.
Close to my birthday, Aquarius. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it was like February 2017? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my spiritual awakening is in May 27th. I thought you were like, you had a whole bandwagon before all this. Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Look at where you're, okay, let's just, right. That was the old Shane, looking at the old Shane and talking to the new Shane. Can you believe it? But you knew it, right?
I know, I want so badly to take down those first videos where it looked like I'm freaking out and stuff, but I want people to see how much I've changed to encourage them. So you can freak out like this too. And you'll be all right.
Hey. Yeah, but that's like, you saw yourself grow, and we all grew with you. Like,
exactly.
I would have never met you if you would have never. No, I mean, not talking about me. We're all collective, but I'm talking about how you have somehow figured out how to make a collective and bring us together and be excited about us being together. And people may call us what they want, but you brought us together, so thank you so much. I think that's a great birthday present to Michelle Wolf and I, because she comes on every Tuesday with your show too, and we're both Aquarius. Well, she'll be on for your show for her birthday too, and we'll wish her happy birthday. But yeah, like, come on, Travis, out of all the people, same exact birthday, like, there's so many synchronicities with us. Thank you again, Shane.
Oh,
thank
no
you
problem.
so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure, and I'm honored. And it's like, I had no idea it was going to play out like this. It's just this divine gathering. I was just needing to talk to somebody. I talked to the camera, and here we are. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, come on, Shane. I'm going to really, like, interview you. Deep, 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 way deep, deep, deep down inside, you knew this was going to happen. You're just being a beautiful, humble light worker. But deep, 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 deep down inside, this is your purpose, and this is what you're supposed to do.
I didn't know then, but I know now. Yeah, I never imagined this. Totally. I feel it, though.
Yeah.
I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That's why I tell people, look, I made it here out of complete ignorance. So, no, I didn't know up until getting here that this is what I'd be doing, and I would be so fulfilled. But that's why I tell people, don't fret about where you're headed. Just stay in the vortex and go with the flow, and just trust your guides will get you there, As long as you're not resisting what's going on too much, you'll get there.
My roommate is starting to awake. She just started purging and crying. So I actually asked her to Love Tribe, and no one, it was too much pressure. But what do you think is the best advice for like a newbie waking up, like not to scare them, like she's Mexican, so she has like the Catholic background that we've had, like, but she's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I just went outside and all of a sudden I started crying. Like my whole life, like flashed before me, and like people are like, I'm not in tune with them anymore, and I'm losing friends and relationships, and I think, you know, as light workers, I want to help her, but I just don't know. What do you all think? You can put it in the chat too. I've been asking everyone like the light way to do it, because it's scary, right? And we don't want to say the wrong thing, and we don't want to sound crazy.
You know, my answer now is probably as simple as it would have ever been in all of my life, and it's just like, just relax, don't freak out, just be in a loving, high vibe, mood, and just go with the flow, and things are going to unfold perfectly. Everybody's like right where they're supposed to be. No need to like stress about anything. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of a simple answer, but that's really what I did when I look back on it. Anytime I tried to help things out, all I did was slow things down. It seems like the faster I progress is when I just trust that God, the universe, or whatever you feel, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, whatever you're comfortable with. I don't think, the higher realms, the labeling's important to them. It's like important for us in 3D. Whatever we feel comfortable with. I think you can go with that. If she's Catholic, then Jesus, Mary, the Holy Spirit, something along those lines. Just tell her to just go with what she's comfortable with already, and say, just trust the Holy Spirit to get you there, and just be loving as you can, and go with the flow, and trust that you're going to end up where you need to go. Because I got here, like I said, out of complete ignorance. I would have never aimed for where I am right now, because I just didn't know. But I'm definitely where I need to be, and I definitely feel that and see that now.
Great insight. Thank you. I mean,
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
just go with the flow,
Oh my gosh, I have to sing that song, Let It Go. I'm a terrible singer. I have karaoke on my birthday. I'm like, I'm the karaoke cheerleader. They're like, what's a karaoke cheerleader? I'm like, you need one. That's every time you sing, regardless if it's terrible, we yell and scream and chant for you. Like, you're awesome, you're amazing. And then when they were done singing, like, oh my gosh, a karaoke cheerleader is amazing. So I'm going to be your karaoke cheerleader, and I'm just going to tell her to sing the song Let It Go.
Yeah. Wait, that's the Beastie Boys, right? Or are you thinking of a different one? I love
Which
that
one?
Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys, Let It Go? Or are you thinking of a different one?
Oh my gosh. You're in my town. Let's do the Beastie Boys. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that 808 in my sound system in my car.
Oh my gosh. If you didn't get copyright strikes, it'd be cool if you ended out with the Beastie Boys song and close the show out tonight. Drop the mic.
Totally, yeah.
Oh man, it's my birthday. That's how I wish it would be, but yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably strike that one down.
I just want to call in. It's my birthday. I'm feeling like so awesome. Like Nancy brought like this whole group of us together on this messenger chat. I know you're part of it and everyone else, and it's annoying because we get 20 million messages a day. But once in a while, when you're having that bad day and you pop it up and you hear positive messages, like I watch your show, I pop it up, and I met most of you, not all of you. I hope we meet in Savannah on 080820. But it's just such an amazing, like you feel like, yes, I can let it go. I can do this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see, April, June, July, August. Wow, the 8th is on a Saturday. So might be able to make that happen.
Save your money. Save your money.
Yeah.
Put
Let's
a quarter
manifest it,
every
you guys.
day.
8-8.
Put $1 in a jar.
And I was thinking Tybee Island, which is just a few miles, east. It's like right on the coast. It's like they say Tybee Island. It's an island, but you can drive there. There's like a little road, and it's just out of Savannah. We can get Sherry and Eileen and everybody. We go to one of those scary houses, haunted houses or something. That'd be cool.
Oh my gosh, if we go to a haunted house, it won't be a haunted house for us.
I know,
by the
really.
way-
We'll
by the
ruin
way,
their
my whole
business.
life-
You're like, you ran off all the ghosts, you guys.
Exactly.
What the heck?
We're going to be like, woo! We're not going to be scared. We're like, look at the orbs around us. I see you. Take a picture. Take a picture with us. We love you. They're going to be like, oh, you're right. You run them out of business.
I know.
So
it'd be
Shane,
like,
my
don't call them. They're like the Ghostbusters or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so Shane, by the way, I grew up in a house that was really high energy.
Mm-hmm.
I had so many spirits come through portals, and I lost my niece and nephew back to back to cancer in the same house. And they both came back to me before all these spirits came around. So Sherry and I, she always ask, how's Phoenix doing? Because I understand that realm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, everyone tries to tell me that it's like residual energy that we leave on this world, and then you leave and you come back. But I'm like, no, I feel them. They're like communicating with me, speaking to me. I feel the excitement that I know they're there and we're there. We're communicating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I know you're on the fence about things. But my niece, I have a picture. I sent Michelle Wolf. She'll tell you, no, I see him. I took a picture of my nephew. He passed away 4 years ago with brain cancer. And a year and a half before that, I lost my niece to rhabdomyosarcoma. And now my dad has stage 4 pancreatic cancer in the same house.
Wow.
Where I had many, I can't explain it. And my new place now, that's a whole other story that we're not going to get into because that will be a whole hour to get into it. But no, I mean, I've been through things that people can't explain. I share it to our group. I'm like, can someone please explain this to me? I went through, remember Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, how he put the sand down?
I'm trying to remember the sand. I don't remember the sand part.
I
started to
so
say something
apparently
that was going to spoil it, but go ahead.
Yeah, you need to go sit down and watch that with your daughter. They're like, hey, she just had her birthday too, right? Your daughter?
Actually, everybody did. Had one in December, January, and then I've got one coming up in April for the girls. And then my son had one in January as well.
Okay. Happy birthday, all of you. Yay! I cover them all, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you
that's
should
wild.
watch Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey. It talks about, like, everything we're talking about. Different... I paint this all the time. I always paint a bridge because there's always two paths you can make. And so Interstellar goes in, and he can't communicate on the outside to the other dimension. So you know how, like, we have to have, like, symbols or music play or just weird, obscure things, right, that happen where we're like, that's the Mandela effect, or who moved that? That wasn't there. How am I missing this? Or X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. You can see why it took me so long. I've got, like, all these kids in the house, so I'm just assuming they're all messing with my stuff all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, so I have a lock on my door. Nobody goes in my backyard. It is impossible for anyone to touch my backyard. So I had a moment where my car got stolen, my Audi A4. You know, I work in Hollywood, so we're only about our materialism, right? We got to fake
Keeping
everything,
up with the Joneses
right?
and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's the word. We had to keep up with the Joneses. So I bought an Audi A4 I couldn't afford, and it got stolen. 2 months after I paid it off, 5-year lease. I was a slave to that car, by the way, on top of that.
Man,
so right after that happened, most people would what? I call myself, like I'm sure you call yourself, the old Renee, would have gone in her room and played a victim in a fetal position, right?
Yeah.
But this time, you know what I did? I laughed and pointed in the sky. Said, "Oh, you're good." Like I knew it was. I had no clue. It just came out of me. And this is like right after this is when I beautifully was orchestrated onto Unbiased on the Fence, where it made sense. So yeah, so I went to my backyard and I would normally play the victim. I laughed and pointed and said, "Oh, you're good, fine. Fine. If you want me to like walk like Jesus, I'll walk like Jesus to the grocery store."
Yeah.
And when I came home, I painted. I was being creative. And so I didn't play a victim. I didn't cry. I was like, whatever. It's just a piece of materialism. And I went and painted in a different spot. I moved my hand. And underneath where I moved my hand, underneath dirt, was 3 peace signs made perfectly out of dirt. I wiped my hand clean and appeared. I'll send it to you in your email.
That'd be
You'll
cool.
be blown away. You will be blown away. I've told all of our love tribe, I'm like, can someone please explain this? Like, how did I wipe my hand? I thought it was like cement, and it was like engraved in. No, I wiped my hand hard, and there was 3 peace signs made perfectly out of dirt. Like, you need to watch Interstellar, because he uses dirt as a sign, because there's no way he can communicate to the other side, which is his daughter.
Right.
This is a good movie for your mother, or for you, for your daughter and your daughter and father moment to watch this movie together.
Very good. Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, so I had that real experience, and I've asked all the love tribe, please explain this. Here's proof. I have proof. I didn't do this. No one. They're like, well, who came in your backyard? I was like, I know I paint, but I don't paint that perfectly. They were perfectly painted out 3 peace signs. Perfectly.
That's beautiful.
After I wiped
love
my
those
hand.
synchronicities like that. Here you have a car stolen, and this people wouldn't even get it.
And I laughed.
Right.
I laughed in the sky. And I said, fine. It didn't even, and I said, you know, it makes me feel better. So I'm only telling this story not so you guys, I want to blab my mouth and you guys listen to me. What I'm telling our whole entire love tribe is that what you think is something that's going to ruin you, if you laugh at it, like what you said earlier, Shane, and take it and you're like, whatever, I'm still going to move on, especially if you're creative, especially if you take it with a creative, you will see a miracle. That was a miracle. Michelle Wolf saw it, and Travis, all of them, they're like, we can't explain this. Megan, Travis, all of them. Jose, I presented this to everyone. Everyone said, we can't give you a conclusion. I'm like, imagine if I hire you, like ancient aliens, to come over and look at this. How would you describe this? And there is nothing but I can say a miracle. And that day was a person, a best friend of mine, that said, you know what, Renee, I'm losing hope of life, and I want to learn the ways of like being like a spiritual human being. And I was supposed to go see her. My car got stolen. So we're all going to get these like obstacles and things that want to tear us down. Can I just say coronavirus that we're all afraid of? Like, it's not going to happen. It's like a fear-based. And that was a miracle. So I still, if you can explain that, any of you guys, I'll show you the pictures. I have proof. And if you can explain it, that would be cool.
I can explain it. It's supernatural sign from the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what you see a lot. But, like, I know I work in Hollywood. Like, I didn't Hollywood that, you know?
Oh, right.
Like, I didn't touch that. Yeah, no, I work
The
in
universe
Hollywood.
Hollywooded it for you. It gave you some Hollywood-style synchronicities, you know? That's so cool.
But that's what I needed, right, Shane? What was your miracle? What did you see to keep you continuing forward? Because it's scary, you know. We see these. That's a scary miracle. Like, who am I? Everyone's like, you did that. You know, we get everyone like denied. You did that. You must have did that. And I'm like, no, I'm not that talented of an artist. You know, like everyone wants to deny our miracles. And I don't think like, can you feel it? Like that's what they're trying to do to us. They're trying to instill fear in us and tear away the miracles that we've all seen. And we know, but it's so hard to believe. It's so hard to believe because it's like movies. That happens only in movies. And what we're all witnessing, if everyone's here right now, everyone is witnessing. What did you describe it, Shane?
Oh, a
supernatural.
Yeah, supernatural synchronicities. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to become natural, you know. We're all coming in a new timeline where miracles are for real, and we're seeing fairies and Bigfoot and all these things. And we're the ones that have to receive the unbelievable. I'll let you finish because you already know. You're the Jedi Master. You know what I'm saying, so I'm going to stop talking.
Oh,
so
no, you're perfect. You're perfect.
I know. I can feel your soul, and you know what I'm talking about. So
totally.
You tell everyone. So
Well, just to take a step back and say that really when you look at all these distractions, they're all to pull us out of the now. And when we're in the now moment, think about it. When the synchronicity happens, you might be thinking about, oh gosh, what do I got to do tomorrow, or what did I just do, or whatever. And when you get that synchronicity, it pulls you back into the now moment. You see that 11:11 on the clock, and it pulls you back into the now moment. So not only do I think these synchronicities are signposts, but I think they bring us back to the now, which is where our greatest connection to our higher self is, and our intuition. And if you're in that moment, you're not worrying about the viruses going around and the pandemic threats and you know where you're going to be next week and your job or whatever it is that is bothering you now in life. You know, if you are just in that now moment, you have the greater connection. And then the higher your vibes are too, the higher you are, the better connection you have with your higher self too. So I think it's really all about being in the now moment, not because if you're thinking about in the future, it's usually worry. For most of us, we're worrying about something or fretting over the past. So really everything's in the now, and that's where all the magic happens, right in the now moment.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to call you Baby Yoda. Because Baby Yoda broke the internet. That was beautifully said. That's why I said, you take this, because we know, like, we're not here to be like, I know I work in Hollywood, but I'm not here to be a celebrity. I'm not here to be like, I know everything. You know? Like, the beautiful thing is we connect together and we get whatever experience or miracle and we tell about it and then we share it and we pass it on. Then we all have to remember my favorite movie that describes what's happening right now is Bug's Life by Disney. And they're all the grasshoppers, and we're all the ants. There's more of us than them, and we are all little happy ants that are like, yay, and want to dance up and be entertained. All we want to do at the end of the day is be around the people we love. We don't need. Well, in my universe, I was like, what makes you happy? I want a mansion and a Bentley. Like, okay, that doesn't make you happy, you know.
No.
That's what I work in Hollywood. Everyone's like, I need a Bentley and a mansion and a 12-year-old girl to make me happy. And it's like, pew, your mind is twisted. Yeah. So there's a bunch of us. I'm part of the movement, by the way, y'all, in Hollywood to change it. I'm not the only one. Tiffany Fitzhenry is a good one to follow if you guys haven't followed her. Roseanne Barr, everyone talks a bit smack about her, but she actually was coming out with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And she did too much like Trump stuff instead of just like talking from her heart. So she got blasted out, and she doesn't care. She's coming back in. But there's many, many more of us in every industry, not just Hollywood. We're tired of this, you know? We just want to be creative. We just want to do what we want to do without people touching us or trying to hurt us and twist, you know, where the right is wrong and the wrong is right. Like, those programming is done. It's not happening in Hollywood. It's not happening in politics. It's not happening anywhere anymore. Right, Shane?
Absolutely. There's white hats everywhere, and I think of them as sleeper cells, you know, light worker, white hat sleeper cells, just waiting to clean things up and wherever they are, whether it's politics or Hollywood or even the church and some of the religious people. There's, you know, we have a tendency to want to think everyone, you know, if you see something that's corrupt or bad, you think it's all corrupt or bad, and it's really not like that. We've got our light workers peppered throughout or salted throughout, if you want to think of it that way. Since they're like the white hats. But
No. I call us like Jedi. Like,
right.
We're not looking for like the good is good and the bad is bad. We're just looking for a balance, you know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A balance. If we have a balance, everything will be fine. We are like either teetering too much to the bad or well, I don't think there'd be too much good, but sometimes everyone manipulates the good, you know?
Oh, yeah.
There's a balance. There's a
you see a lot of that
balance, you know?
Yeah, you see a lot of that, good people getting caught up in bad situations and stuff, but when it all comes out and they know, you know, their stuff's going to come out anyway, they're just going to flip, you know, without getting into too many details. But, you know, there is a lot of really good people that's gotten caught in bad situations. There's really good people that's just waiting. They know they'll lose their position if they come out now, so they're just waiting for that perfect time, you know? And they're in position and ready to do it.
And you know, Shane, too many people have done false idols. So once certain things come out about a certain human being, they're going to, like, be crushed and, like, probably want to, like, end their life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's, you know, that people get pretty, and And
it's a wake-up call, though.
Done. Yeah, but it's got to be done very gently. Like, y'all don't fall in love with Kobe. But he was, I'm not going to get into it because then I'll lose y'all again because I work in Hollywood. But, like, and the coronavirus, this is all just another, you know how we're all collective. So they're just trying to, like, do these things to bring our energy down. And they're like, how about 1, bang, 2, 3, Kobe, coronavirus, everything else is going on in the world, and Valentine's Day. You don't have someone that loves you, you're terrible. Boom! You know, that's like a big, good bomb, right? A big concoction. That's why I came on today to call. I don't call in all the time. I'm not here because I work in Hollywood and listen to my voice. I just want to come on because I understand, like, what I just said right now, what's going on, and everyone, like, it feels lost and empty. I love E.T. Taylor. She's here because I was, like, feeling negative energy, too, you know, and it's hard for all of us. Like, we feel it even stronger, and it impacts us. But, like, what you said, Shane, with this whole thing, like, this is what, if you were, like, spiritually awakened back in the day, like, we all got to be our Care Bears or whatever you see your superhero character is, and it's time. Like, all the training, I love Star Wars, so I'm a Jedi, so my Jedi training's happening now. We all have to put the full armor up. There's so much deception, right, Shane? There's so much to just feel down and out, and it's Valentine's Day. Oh, you're a loser because you don't have someone next to you. You know what? I got my bird Phoenix next to me, but you know what? I have all of you I'm talking to right now, and I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And they want to keep instilling that. They built this holiday to make people to feel like, oh, you're a loser because you couldn't find someone to love you. No. I love all of you. Shane loves all of you, and I know we all love each other.
And I sent out a
that's what they're
Valentine's
trying to do.
everybody, a Valentine post today. So everybody got their Valentine. That's in our little group anyway. All my kids, I get them all one. My son and all my daughters. So, and of course my wife. So everybody gets one. Nobody has to be alone. And everybody here in the group, if you feel unloved or feel like, I sent one out to you guys. You guys are all loved. Don't get caught up in the what is it? I don't know. They always make everything all about money and
I
stuff.
don't know. What is it this
Anyway.
year, Shane, that they titled it? What did they name it this year, Shane? What they title it? They always title it something, you know?
Do they? I don't really follow it.
No, to instill us in fear.
Yeah.
You know? Like, dating websites are on the rise. Like, the biggest news is, like, that all these celebrities are going on dating websites, and all these girls are like, yeah, I'm going to date them. And I'm like, come on. They stoop so low that they have to go. I mean, I'm not going to say their names because we'll get cut off again, like my technology. But that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're, like, trying to, like, program people that love is this person that, well, whatever, fill in the blank.
It's just all so commercialized,
anyway.
though. That's the word I was trying to think
Yeah.
of. Everything
I
gets
didn't
commercialized.
mean to take so much time. I'm so sorry, but
No, it's
I just
perfect.
came
It's
on
perfect.
because, yeah, I love all of you. I just wanted to spread. I know I say love and light, like,
Yeah.
I don't mean it lightly. Like, please don't, oh, if I'm by myself. Like, we're not by ourselves. We have each other.
Absolutely.
I can't thank you enough, Shane. Like, come on. You're the one that united me with Michelle. You united me with Travis, and we have the same exact birthday. We ended up at the SETI. Like, you can't write a script like that, you know?
No.
It's synchronicities.
Yeah, it's a divine gathering, and we're all being brought together, and we are loved deeper than a lot of the people that feel like, they've got this wonderful relationship, and, who knows what's going on behind the scenes. So we have a much
and
deeper
it's a
love.
fallacy.
Yeah,
Fallacy, right? What's that word? Fallacy? Where
Yeah.
it's fake? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
so-
what all this. Oh, by the way, everyone, I work in Hollywood. By the way, most of the celebrities who get married is like an Indian marriage. It's all programmed. They're all put together. It's not real love. And then that's why we see them like doing all these over-glorified things that are big, and they've been really responsible for telling people like, oh, well, my kid doesn't have I'm probably going to get cut off after this, but a gender X, Y, and Z. So it's all programmed, so please don't follow the agenda. It's not real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's all programmed and all put together like an arranged marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to push their agenda and make a big deal. And it's all really to separate. Everything's designed to separate. You know what I mean? Like whether it's religion or politics or the stuff you're talking about, it's just all to create more chaos and division. And that's what we're here to do, is to undo all of that. Realize that everybody gets loved. Everybody gets treated the same. It doesn't matter which religion you come from. That's what the whole unbiased and on the fence thing is all about. It's really like, dude, come here. Whatever you believe is totally cool. As long as you're not rude to anybody, you're welcome here. We love you. And, we just don't, want anybody treating anybody bad. That's really the only stipulation,
But the
It's a
proof
safe
is in the
place.
pudding, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
When we came together, all of us, each individual person that met everyone in your chat, and they hugged that person for the first time, that was like, you can't write a script, you can't write anything. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That was a conscious choice to be there, and then somehow like, how could I afford to be here? Because like, you're the one, remember? You said, I don't know how I'm going to get to Sedona, but I'm going to go. And I'm like, I saw your video right after that, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to get to a set, because I'm an independent filmmaker. I'm not a studio.
Right.
You know? And I kept in your mindset, and it was easy peasy. The money came like nothing. I mean, well, it didn't mean I cried, but it flowed like in such a ease because my intentions were true. I wanted to come be in person with you all and hug you and thank you. And I still will never forget the day you pointed at me. I know you. And you said it again to me recently. But, that's unbelievable to me more than I make films and get stuff on Amazon and Netflix. What you said when you pointed, I know you. I was like, boom. Like when you saw Michelle Wolf, right? Like, we're all intended to be here. And thank you again. You can, be watching Netflix with your family, but you chose to come and bring us all to here together on a day where if most people don't believe you achieved the greatest relationship on your life, you're a failure on this day. You know what I'm saying? No, today's a love day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
love
let
stream
you go
on Valentine's Day.
I fully stole the whole show.
Oh, no.
I just have so much
great.
love to give. I hope I didn't take anybody's vibe. I've been wanting to talk to you a long time. I saw you at a SETI, and I knew you can spread hope right now. Like, everyone's feeling like, we're all going to die. Hide in your closets with your bottles of water and your 20-day pack of food, you know? Like, no, we're fine, right? Like, I'm good, you know? And just like how you started your show was the way everyone came here. Like, we're all divinely protected. And the peace signs I told you about, by the way, one person told me from our group, it is Algiz. I'll send you the link too. But it means you're divinely protected.
Yeah, send me those pictures,
Which is a
Renee.
peace
I'd love
sign,
to
by
see
the
those.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to hang up. I hope there's somebody else here. I didn't mean to steal the show.
No,
but
it's all good.
Can I do a little blessing for everyone here?
Absolutely.
Please?
Yeah, please do.
Thank you. Thank you. I saw miracles and signs, and I saw a sign, and from our love tribe, they told me that sign means Eljiz. It means you're divinely protected. So in order for me to receive it, I want to send it off to you because this is not about me. We're all collective consciousness. So I send my blessing on to all of you. It's Valentine's Day. You are all loved, and you're divinely protected. Please don't live in fear. We're all protected. We're all family. That's it. I love you all.
Love you, Renee. Thank you for calling in. Don't be a stranger.
Okay, I'm
Call
hanging
back
up
soon.
now.
Okay, talk to you later.
Yes, see, I will. I know, yes. Okay, bye, Shane. Thank
right,
you
bye-bye.
for letting me spread some love to the family. I know we're all scared right now, you know?
Right.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Good night. Oh, that didn't have that ready to go, huh? Okay, so that's absolutely beautiful, Renee. I'm so glad you called in, and it was awesome meeting you. And yeah, the fear stuff, guys, is a distraction. Just a distraction. And I'm not even saying things aren't happening. I'm not even going to go that far and say things aren't happening or it's not real or any of that stuff. But I'm just saying that, don't let it cripple you. Don't worry about it. Don't get absorbed in it so much that, you get your vibes brought down. If it's at your doorstep, you might want to pay attention to it, But other than that, don't get caught up in all the fear and the hype about these things, because when you actually look at the numbers, if you just look at pure logic, you just look at the numbers of those affected. Sure, there's areas that you might be more likely to be affected, without getting into details, but a lot of these things, just send some love, light, some prayers, some good intentions towards it, and put it out and trust the universe or God or whatever's going to take care of it. And get back to the things within your realm, within your sphere of influence, And don't be in fear, just shine your love light. Well, happy Valentine's Day to all you guys. Sending lots of love and light all around the world. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Be sure to check out the website at uotf.net. There you will find the live stream schedule displayed in your local time right there on the front page. Below that, you'll find links to take the Beyond Quantum Healing course at a discounted rate, purchase our book, Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, in paperback or ebook, or to contact me to schedule a BQH session. At the top of the site, you'll find links to help support the work I do, access the free private forum where you can discuss organizing get-togethers in your area, Mandela effects, and more. Thank you all so much for being here.